Hello everyone. He- Hello everyone. We are live and we're starting the expert session number 71. This time we're bringing Alan Rodrigues. Let me just give our service here. This is expert session number 71 from Evolve E-commerce Club. We'd like to thank you at first for our partner Ermi for making this expert session possible. And let me bring you Alan Rodrigues. Alan is an accomplished business leader with extensive experience in data-driven marketing, technology, and business strategy. Currently serving as general manager for Europe at Lima Consulting Group, Alan's career spans over 2 decades across multinational organizations and dynamic digital agencies. Renowned for bringing the gap between marketing and sales through actionable insights, Alan has driven digital transformation initiatives for Fortune 500 companies in Latin America and now in Europe. Now based in Portugal, his expertise covers areas such data analytics, customer experience, digital transformation, and the effective use of technological solutions to enable growth. Alan, very welcome to Evolve, to our expert session. And we always like to start our expert session with I like to say, powerful question. And
Mhm.
here it is. So many believe companies are obsessed with being data driven, but that data often gets in the way of real creativity and connection. And in your experience, uh, can data actually make marketing and sales less human, or is that a misconception?
Well, thanks for having me. I think it's a really tricky question because yes, it is. You can make the sales and marketing um, uh, less human, but you don't need it to be like that. So I'd like to say that any human relationship gets better while you know better um, each other, your marriage or your daughter, you know, uh, when you, it's the same when you know better your client, when you know what he really wants. It's better to make uh, personalized content and relevant content and at the right time. So I'd say that the problem is not use data, is not the data driven, but how you're gonna use it to communicate with your client. So the human being should be on the part of how to decide to use this information to show up your product or your service, and if it makes sense for them. I remember that there's a case. I think it was for Target store in the United States. They started to send emails uh, showing baby products to a teenager, uh, an American teenager. Her father saw this kind of emails, like selling diapers and baby stuffs, and her father tried to sue Target because they were trying to convince her daughter to, to get pregnant. Um, la- a few weeks later, uh, he found out that she was actually pregnant. So the company knew it before her father, and the company started to use it. But if someone on the team, marketing team or media team, just analyze it, that kind of communication, analyzing that kind of trigger, uh, maybe you will be sensible to do not send anything related this kind of products to a teenager, and it wouldn't happen. So I think data is not a problem. At the end of the day, should be a human considering what we're gonna use, how we're gonna use this data, and the timing we're gonna use it. So if you have this kind of sensible feeling, I think that you can use all the data you have at disposition, and you're gonna have a really relevant conversation with your client. Um, so I think that we should be data driven, but take care of the communication and be sensible in how to use it. It's a powerful information you have of your client, and it's exactly how a human being relationship. Uh, you don't need to start. I don't know if you know the TV show You from Netflix.
Yes.
It's a
Yeah. No, no.
creepy guy. He knows everything
Mhm.
from his victim, so you don't need to be a creepy guy. You just need to have
Mhm.
should use this information to have a relevant conversation and continuous conversation with your client.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I believe it's also something like well, don't blame data for your fault, right? So maybe for some companies it's maybe I don't know for some people it's easier to blame data because
Or
it's no
technology.
one, it's data. Yeah, technology. Yes, it's
Yeah.
technology problem. But yes, at the at the end of the day, as you said, and I totally agree with that. It's it's human, right? So the data is there. So either you use it or not, it will be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's data. It's a number or a statistic or it's a tag on the side of your name, but
Yes. And
it's
if
part of
you
the human being.
decide to ignore all this data, you're going to be just a generic brand talking to your consumer, just generic
Mhm.
conversations, generic. It doesn't make sense, especially nowadays. Everything's we have the possibility to personalize everything nowadays. We listen all the music we want. We watch all the videos on YouTube that we want. So if you are using that information to personalize that communication and really be relevant, I don't think is that a problem, and I don't think that your client is uh, will
Mhm.
be concerned about that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So, thanks for the uh, first question and powerful beginning, as we like to say. But now let's take it to your career. So, you have worked with agencies and corporations and international leadership. So, um, how how did you get here? So how's been your career choices? How's it been your transition? So how you started in your career and what type of decisions and choices have driven you to work with data nowadays, especially.
Well, I started in I worked like 10 years in digital and performance media agencies. I started as a SEO expert, so I was the guy who do the search engine optimization. Um, but I was always curious on what the other departments was doing and how we could connect their jobs with what I was doing. So I decided to learn a little bit more about performance media and BI. That at the time it was like just Google Analytics and tagging, um, and started to use this kind of knowledge in my planning for SEO projects. Um, I think that I started to understand that I'd like to be a person who is more generalist, who is going to use all these tools, all this knowledge, or I, I'd like to learn the intermediate level of all of the disciplines and use it as a solution for my client. So soon I started to work in other departments like BI, and I was invited to coordinate all the teams, media teams, creative, the part of BI, SEO, because I identified myself as a generalist and as a guy who wants to learn about the my client's business and how can I use all these tools, all this knowledge that I have about digital marketing to solve some problems or achieve some goals. Um, so that's naturally makes me a I don't know, a digital executive, not an expert. Because
Mhm.
when you are working in this kind of markets, you have a time in your career that you have to decide if you're going to be the master expert we call it a subject matter expert, SME, or
Mhm.
if you're going to be like a, solution architect, an executive who will be in charge of to connect to understand your problem, the problem of your client, and connect it with the technical solutions you have at your disposition. So I think it was naturally because I was quite curious in terms of how is it the impact of my work in SEO to someone who is working with Google AdWords at the time. So
Mhm.
it was really natural for me, actually.
Great, and I think that brings to another question that I think it's quite uh, important to have, which is what kind of skills or mindsets, or I don't believe or, but skills and mindsets you believe are crucial for professionals in this field, because um, it seems let me give some context on my what I'm thinking, and then you can I think comment around which is I think nowadays, of course, with uh, all of the complex and with all the complexity of data, and also with all solutions that are around them to make them feel more easy, and to make people and to help people to use them in an easier way, let's say. But I believe also that a lot of people are thinking that it's okay, so it's so easy. It's just okay, and a tool will give me what I need to do, and it's just a matter of I'll click some buttons and what I want will happen. And yes, and I understand that's not that, but yeah. So if you can tell about the skills and mindset, and with that in mind, that's the context that I'm feeling and I'm seeing around this area.
Well, trying to give future proof advice here, considering someone is starting in the our market right now. I'd say that I truly believe that AI, you can disagree with me, no problem, but I
Hmm.
truly believe that AI will replace all the experts based on our market, or at least the most of them. What can I say about experts? I'm saying like the guy who is really good in data modeling, or it's really good
Hmm.
on developing a code, or it's a great to designer for presentation. That's the first layer that I believe AI will replace, because they
Hmm.
all are um, activities that we can standardize, you know.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I'd say that if you're starting in the marketing right now, will be great to understand how technology works, but you don't need to dedicate much time learning how to use it on the backstage. You know, you do not need to learn how to code now.
Hmm.
Some people will disagree with me, but I'd say that well, you will never be a best developer than AI. Uh,
Hmm.
and but if you know what's possible to do when to use code, or to use AI for code to you for you, and what's possible to do with that, maybe it's going to be better than actually know how to code. I will give you an example. Last year, we automated performance media report from our client in Brazil, and we had to connect to I think it was like 8 different media advertisers through APIs, and
Hmm.
to bring the data to our database, and then to show this data on dashboard. Um I did it, and I don't know anything about code. I did it only asking for ChatGPT create the JavaScript for me, and
Hmm.
using this JavaScript to connect to the APIs and bring the data to our database. And always when I had a problem, I had something that I didn't know, I asked from the same ChatGPT, and he answered it to me. So what I'm saying is, I know what is API. I know what is JavaScript. I know what is ChatGPT. I
Hmm.
know how to connect it to, let's say, a Power BI or Google Data Studio. But I don't need to be the guy who will build these platforms from scratch.
Hmm.
So we did it with using a lot of line of code, but we don't know how to code. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's empowerment
Hmm.
to a
Yeah.
lot of people. So I'd say that nowadays it's uh, people should dedicate themselves to learn the possibilities, learn how the tools works, and what they are capable of, um, in order to act as a facilitator, a guide,
Hmm.
a person who know uh, who can help other people, or your even your clients to navigate through all these technologies.
Mhm.
AI, it's a great example. Every company wants to go to AI. They need to do something in AI, and they don't even
Mhm.
know what they want, but they need to go to the AI projects. And sometimes it's not AI, it's not just an automation or a good spreadsheet made will solve your problem. Um, so I believe that you should spend your time learning about the technologies, but at the level and how to use it together, how to connect these technologies, and how to make uh, a strategy with connecting all these solutions. But I'd say that this is not the time to learn how to be an expert on code or I don't know, data viz, spreadsheet,
Mhm.
and PowerPoint
Yeah.
presentation. In the end
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the day, all the money, man.
Yeah, and well, I saw the other day a a it's a website that someone built with all the Excel and Google uh, um, how do you say uh,
Plugins,
commands.
mm,
Yeah, command, right? Yeah, I don't know.
functions, yeah.
I don't know in English. Yeah, functions. Yes, and then you just enter there and say, "Oh, I want this column to do this," and you just write it, and then it will give you the code that what you said
The
function.
function,
And
yeah.
it will give you the Excel function. So it's like you don't need more to spend a lot of money like paying for Excel courses and to learn all of that because yes, well, I totally agree with you, and I think that connecting with your career, what you said before, it's more like being an architect, uh, like understanding the market you want to be in, understanding also the all the tools and understanding people and the customers and understanding how you can connect everything to create something new or to work better within that environment that you are, right? So
Yes.
yeah, totally agree.
That's
So
why I like the title solution architect.
mhm,
So you start from solution. You don't need to be a tool fan, fanboy of
mhm.
I love Adobe. I will solution everything with Adobe. No, you don't need it.
Yeah, totally. And well, let's move a bit further on your career and what you're doing. And well, for now you're in Europe. You moved to Portugal. And what have been like some challenges you've been facing in I don't know if challenges is the right word, but what's the differences you've been feeling in your, especially in your professional transition from Latin America to Europe and dealing with people here and etc.
We arrived 3.5 months ago, so it's too early to have all the conclusion and scenario. But what I'm feeling until now, the European culture is different that we are used how we used to work in Latin America and US. I'd say Americas. Um, maybe in Latin America we are the fail fast mode on, fast paced. You can start. You have an idea. Tomorrow you can start small. If you fail, it's not a problem. Correct the fail and start again and make it different. And we are charged for that. Our clients expected that from that for us. We have to have solutions and ideas every time we have a touch point with our clients. And I'm feeling that in Europe, the planning part of the project is the biggest one, sometimes even than the doer time of the project. So you have to convince more people. You have to try to track all the aspects in terms of the risks of the project before to start it. And I don't think it's wrong or right. It's just different way to work. To me, it's a little bit hard because I want to fail and start again, fail and start again, and it's how I'm working for my last 20 years. And right here, you have to stand and discuss a lot of time, a lot of hours, dedicate a lot of time to figure out how to do before start to do. Um, I think it's the main difference for me right now is being to respect the timing and respect that the fast fail is not exactly the best methodology to the companies here.
Yeah, well, I I totally agree here. Yeah, in Europe, people are more based on process, and what I could hear here from Germany is I heard it a lot of times. Is yeah, well, trust the process. If it's there, it's because
Yeah.
it will work. So trust the process and wait that everything will will happen. And sometimes they even say, well, within the process is faster than without the process. Sometimes
Yes.
yes, sometimes no. But yes, it's this is interesting. And I have one curiosity. Have you noticed the they are more comfortable, I would say, than Latin Americans, especially with saying no, with saying yeah, I don't agree, and or I don't want to do that, or no, that's not going to happen because even in negotiations sometimes when you're negotiating with Latin Americans as a whole, generalizing, but yes,
Yeah.
uh, it's hard for us to say no, right? So we say, oh, let's
Yes.
see, maybe it's possible, maybe no, let me try it, and etc. But here when they say, okay, no, no, we
Yeah.
yeah, that doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. No, thank you, and bye. And
Yes.
it's a real shock.
I,
Have
I,
you seen that? Have you?
yes. I can notice, and I like it. Really like it, especially because I'm running against the time. I have a business plan to run. If you don't want, if you don't make sense to you, my solution is not a problem. Maybe later we can discuss. And I was talking to a friend who who represents a tool in Israel. She's Brazilian, and she's representing that tool to Latin America market. And she
Mhm.
was sharing with me that, Alan, the worst part of my job is to explain to the C level in Israel that Brazilian doesn't say no. They say maybe. They say it takes a lot of time to make decision, and it, it is what it is. You won't change it. So uh, they decided to keep the Brazilian, especially the Brazilian market, only her because the gringos, the Israel
Mhm.
or European cannot
Yeah.
deal with it. Yes, yes or no, if you want to. And right here,
Hmm.
it's straight feedback. I like it. I think it's best for the business. Uh, the, the Brazilian culture is more like a not hurt your feelings, and
Hmm.
you take it to the business. I think it's for the fast decisions. The European way is the better one.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree also, and we've been talking a lot with a lot of people in Brazil this last weeks, because we're hosting a dinner there, and we're talking with companies, companies to sponsor and all of that. And it's interesting because after we've been dealing a lot of people from different cultures and regions, it's different talking with the Brazilian market because you say, okay, so this is the presentation, this is what we want, this is what we offer, and does that make sense? Oh, I don't know. Let's see. And then it takes a lot of time for you. Sometimes sometimes you feel that okay, so this is not going to happen,
Hmm.
uh, but tell me no, tell me okay,
Yes,
that
not a
doesn't
problem.
work for
Yeah.
me, or that doesn't, yeah, no, not a problem, but that doesn't fit in my moment right now, and that's okay. And this is really interesting, but it's also a part of being uh, international and working with a lot of coaches, because that starts giving us more flexibility to navigate all the worlds, right? So
Yes.
and to
Yes.
negotiate with different people, so you can bring experiences from one market where people don't say no to you can bring experience to say, okay, so how can I say, what can I say, what can I ask for them that they will give me
Exactly.
the right
Exactly.
answer, and then I can extract something
Yes.
from that, and then you can use that in,
What
in other markets. Yeah,
or when is
that's
a good moment to talk about that? You
yeah.
don't know if you're okay. Am I being intrusive? Am I is that the moment that I can sell my product, or is we're just knowing each other? There's a lot of to learn. A friend
Mhm.
before I arrived here, a friend recommended to me a book called The Culture Map from Erin Meyer. It was really, really important for me and relevant for me. It prepared me uh, to to that kind of differences that I'm facing now in Europe. So yeah, it's a like a guidebook you can do to wherever if you're going to Europe, Asia, Middle East, or Americas.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can find some good insights from this book.
Amazing. It's called the culture map.
Culture Map, yes,
Mm, great,
Erin
great.
Meyer.
Amazing. And well, let's go to talk more about data and your work. So yeah, so what are some differences that you've been seeing uh, between companies using data, or some common mistakes that companies have been doing by using data in when they try to become data driven? in the marketing and sales effort. So here in Europe and also in Latam, or if you can compare, well, what have you been seeing?
I think that it's common in Latin and here. Usually people want to start to think about, well, let's gonna be a data-driven team and start to make data-driven decisions. They usually believe that it's all a matter of hire a tool and everything is gonna happen. So if you have a really good web analytics tool, or if you have a really good dashboard on your face, it's okay, all numbers, it's right here. Then my team is going to, now my team is going to be a data-driven um, culture. And it's not like that. It's more like about culture than tools. So if you are not making your team able to understand that all those numbers, uh, from where they come from, how is important to the final results of the business, it's just to, in Brazil we say it's for gringo to see, right? It's just to, okay, we have a dashboard, wonderful. No one is using actually, or nobody's actually reading all these numbers and taking decisions for the business. So I think that the common mistake I see when we are talking about data projects, we almost always start talking about tools. What kind of tool, what kind of technology I should hire, I should implement on my company in order to be a data-driven man. It's not about that. It's well, let's start from the culture. Let's start from workshops. Let's start from understanding the problems and what is making your team right now not be a data-driven team. Um, so I think that's a common mistake. It's not the tool won't solve the problem or the whole problem. Actually, of course, you need tools to do that, but the tool per se is not going to solve the problem. You have to make all the culture, and I'd say that I'd add that you should consider data as a discipline and not a department. You know, at the moment you start to build a department where you're gonna put a lot of nerd guys doing math and doing predictable modeling, uh, you're doing it's not the best way, because the business guy will receive this document and okay, I don't understand anything what is right here, and or that's wonderful graph, but let's take decisions for tomorrow. So I'd say that the data should be a discipline for the whole company, uh, especially beginning on the business teams, and then you start to consider hire some tools to automate the process or to collect more data or to aggregate all this data for you.
Great, amazing. Once I heard or I read, I don't remember from whom, a, a, a council about hiring any type of solution, which was especially when you're starting to operate in any type of process. So it's just start without any tool, start, test. And then when you figure out your process at the end of the day, then you look at, at the tool, and then you go to look at the tool, because
Yes.
otherwise you'll not be creating or identifying the best, or developing the best process for you.
Hmm.
You'll be defining, developing the best process with that tool or with that solution, not the best process for your company, because uh, yeah, and it's like that, right? So, oops, I think something happened. Mm, yeah, we had a quick problem with Alan. Let's see. Mhm. Yes, let me see what happened with Alan. Just one moment. Yeah, who's watching? Oh, great. He's back.
Hi there.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. You're back.
Problems. Sorry.
Great. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, and it's great. So yeah, so what I was we were talking about tools and selecting tools and how to connect your process with that. But and I was saying that I heard this advice, of a guy saying, let, at the beginning, figure out your process, find your process, and develop your process, and then you'll find the, and then you'll go look at the tool that better adapts to your process. And yes, because sometimes you have the fancy tools that
Yes.
delivers a lot, that
Or
deliver everything.
buzzwords. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, you just need a small tool that will do this, and this, and it's
Yes.
way cheaper than that one, and it will deliver for you because your process is not that complex, or sometimes you're just making it complex because that tool is complex because their focus is that type of company and that type of client, right?
Yes. Sure. It happens a lot with this kind of buzzwords of the moment. Every year we have a buzzword in digital market. Nowadays it's AI, so AI is for use it for everything, and people should stop.
Yeah. Again, I believe we're having some type of um, problems with the connection. But yeah, so we're having a very nice conversation about data and how to select your tools properly.
Back again.
Yeah, great.
What's happening? It's saying that I'm
Yeah,
tab, but I'm not doing anything.
yeah. Do you have another tab? No, right?
No, I'm just with the Chrome here and just one tab. Uh,
Yeah,
and so let's try again.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, let's
Um,
yeah.
but I was saying that it, I think it's part of what we were discussing about the fail fast. Try a
Hmm.
POC, a proof of concept first, and then you decide to if you need a high technology or a buzzword that market is selling now. Now we are facing it with AI. There is a lot of clients asking for AI solutions that, in the end of the day, they are actually automation. You just need an automation, a bot or anything, other solution that is not actually
Mm-hmm.
AI or a data modeling. Uh, so this kind of that's why it's important to understand that the tool is not the end of solution. The tool is just the way you maybe you're going to use to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we had it, we faced it with CDP in Brazil, which is a customer data platform. Uh, all every player wants to have their CDP implementation, and that's great, wonderful. But when we go there, you find that they still don't have the data structure. Still don't have a data lake. They still don't have a lot of triggers that they could use without a CDP. Um, so let's do let's keep it simple. Let's make it let's find the quick wins where we're gonna make money for the business as fast as we can,
Mm-hmm.
and then we start to discuss about the uh, technical solutions more robust.
Great. And well, I have some questions here from Carlos. He's flying to Brazil now, and if not now, in a bit. And yeah, so let me give these questions. So when you first started working in Europe, what surprised you most compared to your experience in Latam? I believe you already have touched that, but
Yeah. Yes. Besides the decisions takes a long time to make here, uh,
Mhm.
the modus operandis. Um, I think, well, maybe Europeans gonna mad with me, but I think that Americas in general are
Mhm.
more advanced in terms of use of technology and strategies to digital marketing and martech and data science than Europe.
Mhm. My God. I don't know what is happening. Yeah. Um, yes, we're just trying to figure out some the the points we have for why he's.
Yeah, more technical problems, and we are Brazilian. We won't
Yeah,
give up.
yeah,
We
yeah, we
don't.
don't give up now. Yes, yes, I sent you a link before. Maybe it's because of
Let
that.
me
I
try
don't know.
to see that
Uh,
because I'm using
understand
the link from
from the
the
invite
email. Yes, from the
of.
email. Maybe is
Okay,
that a problem?
it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
Can
But
use
that's.
the. Well, I can go now to the link
Let me
on
try to
invite.
do something.
Not a problem.
Let me see if I can. No,
No?
no. Stay there. Let me try to remove this. These other. Yes. Okay. So I have removed these other. Uh, yeah. Great. So we should have no problem. Okay. And well, you were talking about the most
Yes.
difference that you have.
Yes. I think we are. I, I, we are in Americas, US, and Latam more advanced in terms of use um, technologies or data-driven
Mhm.
platforms to digital marketing. I heard here in Europe that should be because the GDPR here uh, it's 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 hard to uh, face GDPR charts here in Europe.
Mhm.
So I think yeah, it's a problem. In Brazil, we have the LGPD. US has their laws as well. Um, I'm not convinced that the all this is all the problem, all the motive that they are not
Mhm.
using some. Uh, just to give an example, I went in event that they were talking. It was just about AI, and this they were
Mhm.
presenting some use cases. Um, and let's say 90% of the use cases was chatbot, use AI as a chatbot. I mean, guys, no, you don't even need AI to for a chatbot, and
Mhm.
we are talking about huge companies, huge players. Still, I don't know, that is still
Mhm.
doing things that we are already did 1 or 2 years ago in Brazil or in
Yeah,
US.
just scratching the surface. Yeah, we had a session. I don't want to go too long with this, but we had a session with Alexis. She's also
Hmm.
from our communities from Germany. Uh, Alexis, and she's the retail reporter, and she was telling us that, for an example, he left. Yeah, let me. Uh, I don't know what we are facing here, guys. With let's for him to come back. There's no.
Okay, using the invite link.
Yes.
Let's try again. I don't know what's
So
happening.
yeah. Uh, yeah. Well, let's see. Well, so I was telling, we had a session with Alexis, and she was telling that
Hmm.
people from, I believe it was Lavazza, the coffee company,
Yes,
and
yes,
they were,
really good
and
coffee.
that was, yeah, amazing, and that was interesting because they were using AI to create like their customers profile, different type of the customers profile, so that their sales team could talk to this AI to train them to talk to the customers.
Hmm.
And then I
Hmm.
said, okay, that is different. That's an
Yes,
interesting use for AI because it's
yes.
what I feel like a lot is companies are always saying, "Oh, we're using AI," and it's always client facing. And but as you said, for chatbot, you don't need to use AI, and a lot of AI solutions that I've seen, not in the last months, I'll be honest, but in the beginning, last years, especially, a lot of companies was, this is AI, this is AI, and when you look at the end, it's automation. It was always
Exactly,
there.
exactly. Yes,
That
a
was
decision
always there. It's not,
tree.
it's not
Yeah,
yeah, it's automation. So what can we do more with AI? Let's make it. And okay, so let's continue with, I believe you talked a bit about that, but just to get your confirmation in your point of view. Another question here from Carlos. So would you say there's more pressure in Europe to be data compliant and privacy focused? And how does that affect consulting work compared to LATAM?
I'd say that yes, it's hard to deal with GDPR here, but it's not, in my opinion, is not because of the GDPR. It's harder than LGDPD in Brazil or other countries. I'd say that it's because we were talking before. European, it's avoid. Uh, they, they usually avoid risk, you know. So the
Mhm,
first answer is no. We don't.
mhm,
We won't use the or customer data for to do that. So yes, GDPR it's hard, but it's that simple as it's opt-in, opt-out. So you
mhm,
already have the rules here. So if Gus doesn't want to receive my communication or doesn't want that I use your data to my data modeling, it's not a problem. You can opt out. So I think GDPR are being used as a big deal, and it wouldn't be like that. It could be more easier to just respect the law and try and make the keep the transparency with the clients, you know,
mhm.
with your
Yeah,
customer. And as
yeah.
we said, if you are relevant, no one will complain. No one will
Mhm,
feel invaded or you know.
mhm. Yeah, totally. And well, I have two more questions, and these are there platforms or tools that are more popular or trusted in one region versus the other? And I would add, uh, uh, is there, yes, that's the question, but I would add that is I have the feeling that Europeans they are less open to like new technologies, let's say new
New players.
smaller technologies than the traditional ones, SAPs and so ever.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
do you say?
I'd say that as well. Uh, yeah, that's some. We are the huge partner of Adobe in Brazil. I think we are
Mm-hmm.
the main one in Latin America. And when I started to work here, I figured out that Adobe is not so uh, uh, great company or use it on for the companies here,
Mm-hmm.
especially in Iberica place
Mm-hmm.
here, Spain and Portugal. So Salesforce is huge in my region in South Europe. Um, and this kind of mid-market players that sometimes do exactly the same thing that Adobe, Google, Salesforce do, or even better than them for the half of the price. Uh, in Brazil, we accepted them. We use them for a lot of clients. It's one of the cases that we start to discuss about. Well, let's hire an entire a whole stack from Adobe, or just a mid-market player can solve your problem for the half of the price,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna have the same results. Uh, I don't know. I'm participating of RFP here in Portugal with a mid-market platform. I'd say mid-market platform because it's not the
Mm-hmm.
big five one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, and we are struggling to convince the brand that we are good. The platform works and uh, everything's
Mm-hmm.
gonna work for them. So sometimes it happens. The same thing happens with the big consultings. You know, I'm
Yeah.
Lima Consulting Group, and he's Deloitte, he's Accenture. If you are the guy who needs to make that decision, maybe you will need a little bit of I don't know, courage to to hire
To be
Lima,
bold.
because Lima is the best one for this job, and that's it, and I will
Mhm.
sign off.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
most of people usually just let's take the brand, because, well, if
Mhm.
something happened wrong, uh, it was one of the top 5 companies in the world. It's not my fault.
Yeah, it's like in the last session, we were talking with Paulo Felix, that you know,
Yeah.
and we were saying, and that phrase occurred again, and I believe it fits here also because it's that phrase in corporate world that they say, yeah, you will never be fired if you hired IBM. So no one ever
Exactly.
was fired for hiring IBM. So Deloitte, Accenture, and
Yeah.
EY and McKinsey.
Yeah.
It's basically the same. So you won't be hired if you hire them, and if they don't deliver their job, that's something happened. And I have
We need more skin in the game to hire mid market player. You know.
yes, yes, yes. It needs a bit more of boldness, I
Yes.
think, and yes, and look outside the box because if uh, uh, I don't want to talk bad things because I have no experience with them, with none of them,
Hmm.
but these companies they are advising all the 500 companies.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's the true,
Yes.
basically all of them. So if you want to have different results, if you want to do something different, it doesn't make any sense if you hire the same companies that
Yes.
these companies are hiring because you
Yes.
have the same process, the same modus operandi, as you said, the same almost the same deliveries.
Hmm. Hmm.
Of course, money will tell the difference of type of service that they will be able to give you, but they will work on the same way. Yes,
Yes.
and yeah. So, and you have talked about Adobe, and I have one question here. So, you notice different levels of vendor dependence. For instance, like on Adobe or Salesforce or Google. So, compared to Latin America, or do you see something around this here in Europe, or do you see the market it's more split in the players?
I think it's plated. I think that they have the different territories, because the well, these companies, Adobe, Google, Salesforce, they work as territories, action.
Hmm.
So, um, for example, we are selling a project for to a US company from Brazil. We're going to deliver this
Yeah.
project from Brazil to a US company. This project will use Adobe. Um, Adobe Brazil started all the conversations with us. We started the proposal. We made it all everything. In the middle of the negotiation, Adobe US take it from them to them. Okay, it's our
Hmm.
territory. It's not. Uh, To me, it doesn't make sense because, man, they are hiring in Brazil because they want Lima
Yeah.
Consulting doing it, and they want the
Hmm.
Brazil team doing it. But in this kind of companies, they are quite limited in terms of territories, and
Hmm.
that's why I think it's split. They don't have they don't have that exchange that they sell to have.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, just a following question on that. And how does that work for for you guys because you're not you don't work with only one solution. So you don't work only with Adobe or only with Google or only with Salesforce. So does that is that good for you? And some other consultancies that you see here, they are more closed with only one partner. How do you see that in terms of Lima Consulting comparing to the other players in the market?
I mean, I have two point of views. The point of view of my client, it's awesome because we are agnostic. We don't need to sell any kind of
Mm-hmm.
brand because we are partner. We will actually offer the best solution. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but in the point of view of our business, it's quite hard because yes, we are really good with Adobe. But when I came here, I need to start a new relationship with Adobe Europe and a new relationship with Salesforce Europe. So start everything again. Um, and sometimes they are worried to invite us to discuss about solutions because we will talk about solutions in not tools. And
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's the point of view in terms of business. It's a little bit hard because we are agnostic in terms of which tool we will be better for our client. And for our clients, it's uh, we are adding value because again, if you have the same solution for the half of price to with other player, we're going to recommend them. Um,
Yeah.
that's it. It is what it is. And we have a really good use cases with almost all of them. So
Mm-hmm.
the results talks for themselves.
Yeah. Great. So, yes, we're coming to an end here, and we need to press a lot. And so, but tell me, Alan, what does Lima Consulting do? And tell me, explain a little bit about what you guys do, and then where can people find you besides being part of Evolve and within Evolve? We know, but where's the best way to find you outside there? And what Lima Consulting do? What you guys offer? And yes, please.
Great. Yeah, sure. Um, well, Lehman Consulting, it's from United States. We have a team in Brazil. Nowadays, this team is bigger than the United States. Um, our, our scope of work here in Europe and Brazil is specializing in data modeling. So data modeling and MarTech implementation. So everything you need in terms of data, uh, since data science, data modeling, data architecture, uh, I have I want to build a data lake, um, tracking of this data, so data analytics in, itself, and all this MarTech implementation. So Adobe, Salesforce, Google, um, and the market, Infobip, Content Square, Insider. There are players present here in Europe. We have some use cases with them in Brazil. So in the end of the day, we are the partner who will help the brands to extract value from their data, to monetize their data. Uh, we truly believe data is gold, and we can mine this gold and use it as an asset on communication, personalization, and we have our clients to gather all this data, to prepare it, and get put at disposition of the business teams.
Great. Amazing, amazing. And with which type and which size of clients do you guys work? So
Perfect.
some clients you have in Brazil, and if you and that
Uh,
you're working here also.
Especially the enterprise companies, we call it enterprise category. In Brazil, we have Vivo, which is Telefónica in Spain. Vivo,
Mhm,
to make an idea, Vivo in Brazil, maybe is 40% of all the business model of Telefónica. So it's huge.
mhm,
Uh, we're talking about 100 million people in just one database, in one company. Um, and we have some banks, Banco Pan. We had some really good use cases with BMG in Brazil. So yes, I'd say that all the companies that has um, a certain volume of data that we can use as an asset. If you're a startup, if you are a company, a very small company, maybe you won't have enough data to work. But if you are an enterprise or a huge company, you're gonna have a lot to extract value and use it as an asset.
mhm. Great. Great, great. Fantastic. So, Alan, where people can find you besides the community,
Oh,
LinkedIn?
LinkedIn, please. Uh, you can find some more about Lima in limaconsulting.com. And
Mhm.
well, feel free to reach me. We can discuss. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks again for having me. And well, I'm at your disposition in your talks.
Great, great. So, thank you, everyone. See you in the next one. I'll catch you here outside, Alan. So, bye bye. Thank you.
Yo, bye bye.